Rightio, off we go. G'day everyone and welcome to Shakedown No.2. We're on the road as you can see, and weather's looking a little bit how you're going, but anyway, we'll get there. So we're heading south for, as you've heard before, a 2-month journey to shake down this motorhome to see whether we can handle it for up to 12 months next year. It's going to be a big test for both of us, but we'll give it our best shot, eh? Yeah, so come along and join us. I'm not too sure about this weather. I think it's just following us from home. A few days of sunshine before we left, and now we're back under it again. So anyway, not long before we pull up at our first camp, and we'll show you all about that pretty soon. We've just arrived at Jugiong, which is our free campsite for the night, just off the Hume Highway, exactly halfway between Newcastle and Melbourne. And just check out this park. It's absolutely huge. And I can near guarantee you that it doesn't matter what time of the day you rock up here, it'll never be full, although it does get pretty packed. And to top it off, it's got a fantastic pub across the road, so I'm sure I'll see you there soon. Pretty cool pub, eh guys? Let's go and check it out. It's time for happy hour. Mate, I have a schooner of Great Northern, thanks, and a glass of Sauv Blanc. Better make it a large. Cheers. Great spot to stop, guys. Great meal, great pub. Yeah, give it a go. Well, we're back on the road again, day 2. And what have we had? Rain, sunshine, pretty much for the last 24 hours, on and off all the time. Today we didn't get away till about 2 o'clock, as Arne is a finance manager that works online, and I do you know what. And so anyway, we've only got a short drive today. We're just going to head down to near Albury and find a free camp down there and chill out there for the night. So only just a couple of hours south down the highway from Jugiong is the Ettamogah pub, and it's quite an iconic pub to say the least. The free camping here you can see is just absolutely fantastic out the back, and down where we camped last night, it's all free. And out the back there's showers for blokes and Sheilas, as they say. It's got it all, and so when you get here, make sure you check it out. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to check it out because we got here a bit late last night. So when you get here, make sure you spend $1 and support this pub that's doing a fantastic thing for us campers. And it's just off the Hume Highway once again. Well, I've just arrived in Tasmania, and I can already hear you saying, what, Tasmania again? Well, yeah, but apart from the shakedown side of the trip, I've also been asked to do a commercial video promo. So why not Tassie? It's a great state, and it also gives me the opportunity to explore some places that I missed earlier this year. As you know, the weather's been a bit how you're going, but I have managed to capture some great aerial footage. There are no words to really describe how beautiful this state is, so let's take a break and sit back and enjoy my journey so far. Now I ask you, Do campsites get any better than this? This is just absolutely magnificent. Northwest Tasmania, just south of Ulverston on the Guns Plain Road. It is just amazing. And it's free, as I said. No matter how hard you try to get your van right before you leave, there's always something that crops up. And as I said, that's what shakedowns are for. Now, we've been on the road 3 weeks now, and we thought we'd got it down pat, everything pretty much right. But no, think again. Once we started settling down to our normal routine, we certainly found out we hadn't had it right. If you can see, this is our dining room table, which swivels around and goes out of the way and all that sort of stuff. But it's where we work 3 days a week. And what we found was, I'll just move the table out of the way so you can see. Now, can anyone see anything wrong with my seating position? Just have a bit of a look at it. You probably can't, because we couldn't either. But look down towards my feet and you'll notice that we've got all these shoes here that we store, which are the only place we can store them. But you'll also notice, more importantly, my feet dangling off the ground to the tune of about 200 mil, something like that. Now, that doesn't seem much of a drama. But believe me, when you're sitting here working 8 hours a day at a computer, or anywhere for that matter, what we found was that eventually you start getting pain in the calves of your legs, which comes up to your top of your legs, and then before you know it, you've got a pain in your lower back. And we thought we were imagining it to start with. We just thought it was, bloody old age. But we found out it wasn't, because we actually got a step and put under our feet, and it fixed everything. So we thought, what are we going to do about that? So I've come up with my beloved shelf idea, just like we did in the back that you've seen previously. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a shelf through here. So that shelf becomes where our feet store, which will be handy to get up on the chair as well. And also, it gives us another storage area underneath. So all these shoes will be hidden, totally out of the way, and kept nice and tidy. Our challenge today is, how do we get this done? We've got extremely limited tools, pretty close to nothing, because we can't carry those with us in this small van. So we went down to a local hardware store, and we not only picked up a sheet of ply to do this job, but also I had to end up buying a handsaw so I could cut it. And it's been a long time since I used a handsaw. We'll show you the process of what we're going to do to alleviate this problem of our feet. We were looking for a sheet of ply, but we ended up buying what they call some PVC versatile board. And it's a bit like a PVC MDF board. And I've used it before, and it's just totally brilliant. It's completely weather resistant, perfect finish, no edge stripping needed. It's just great. All I've got to do is cut it nice and straight with this great little saw I bought. Gone are the days of having the full machinery shop at home. But anyway, I've got to cut a nice straight line along here, and let's see how I go. There we go, piece number one. Not exactly the perfect workbench, but you've just got to do what you've got to do. Feels stupid, but anyway. We're going to cut some brackets here, which are going to support the shelf, and they're going to be screwed along the side of the cabinets beside where the dinette chairs are. But how's this for primitive? Now, I haven't got a square to draw a straight line, have I? But we have a square piece of paper, which is one of our brochures. So we put that on there. You've got to adapt. And there we are, we have a square line to cut. So we'll cut these up, and then we'll go and start screwing this together. So if you can see there in this very tight little angle that we're filming at, I put the brackets along there to support the shelf. We've also got another shelf, if you can just see over the top of me there, which we've divided off, purely so the shoes don't get pushed too far underneath there and we can't get them out. But also, there's method in my madness, because when I've got a little bit more access to tools and machinery, it's going to become the solid door. So the beers will go down there, but we need a little bit more machinery to do that, to create a hole there and everything like that. So for the time being, it's just going to be a flat platform. So we've got to go and cut the platform out now. So let's get into it. Okay, the acid test all cut out, all ready to slip in the slot. So with a bit of luck, she'll fit. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Just screw that down now. We've cut a little slot out of there. You might wonder what that's for. That's for the table to go up and down, and all should be good. Well, there you go. Hour and a half's work under the toughest conditions, I must say, with bare minimal tools, but we got the job done. And as you can see, our feet now have got something to support them on, and you can't see a single shoe, although underneath there we've got stacks of shoes. So job well done. Let's get back on the road. Well, isn't it amazing what you find when you're touring around? Just off the main highway that travels through the main guts of Tasmania is the small township of Oatlands. And what an amazing little town. It dates back around about 200 years ago, and you would swear at the moment it is 200 years ago. So make sure you put it on your wish list. It's just stunning. Come and I'll show you around a little bit.
There's no doubt the main attraction to Oatlands is the Cullington Mill, constructed in 1837 and is still today demanding strong attention as you drive into the township. Having been recently restored to full working order, it's the only operating mill of its kind in the entire southern hemisphere and is the third oldest windmill in the continent. Whoops, looks like I've lost a cameraman. Oh well, see you when I'm looking at you. As I wander through the township, it's hard not to get swept up in the beauty of the Georgian architecture, and is the largest intact streetscape in the country. But make sure you don't miss the Stables Bakery Cafe. Great meals and service, and you're sure to leave as full as a goog. Another interesting attraction is these fine examples of topiary dotted all throughout the township, and is so different. Finally, I must not forget to mention these amazing camping facilities, and yet again free. All this said, little doubt why the town is one of Tasmania's major tourist attractions.
Alrighty, I promised you some great tips, so listen up, here's another beauty. Before we left on this journey, for privacy, all we had was just simple curtains on a normal curtain track. But they always seem to be getting in the way of something, and quite frankly, a nuisance. So after a fair bit of research online, we found a product which had lots of fantastic reviews, and it seemed to be just what we wanted. They're made by a family business located in Burleigh Heads, New South Wales. And now with a network of dealers all over Australia, they are a thriving business known as Living in a Bubble. Once you see the products, it's obvious they are next level and made like no other. So great to see good workmanship and quality hasn't gone. So apart from all that, let's have a look at the product. This is how they come. They actually come in a carry bag, but we just thought it was good enough the way they were. They've got Velcro straps which hold them together. And I'm not too sure what products they're actually made out of, but I can tell you that these are really well insulated. In the cold in this van with no heater, it's been not a drama, and in the summer it cuts the heat down drastically. So it's just a matter of undoing those, and there's a magnetic strip that goes all the way around the outside, as you will see. And let me show you how easy they are to fit. Done. Now I ask you, does it get any easier than that? Now, as I said, they're custom made, so they're custom made to suit your particular vehicle to the exact sizes. They're made for rear windows, side windows, front windows, you name it, they're made for everything. They come as a complete package. It's not a cheap product, but it's a product that you'll probably have for a lifetime. So check them out. I've got the link on the bottom of the screen there for you, and I'm sure you'll love it when you see it. Just before I wind up this episode, I thought I'd share just a couple of last tips with you. One that's a very helpful one, and one that's a pretty useless one, but you'll love that one. So just hang around a little bit longer for our second tip. But in the growing number of people now that need internet on the road, the big turn has been to Starlink. And I've had a couple of generations of it in the past. And with this van, it came with the Starlink Mini, which at first I thought, I'd heard a few negatives about it, but it works extremely well. But having said all that, one little valuable tip I want to give you. When you purchase it, it comes with the standard 240 volt plug pack, which outputs 30 volts DC, and it comes with a 12-meter cable. Now this cable being so thin, the thinner the cable, the longer the cable, the more voltage drop you get. Now having said that, just remember that for a moment. It also came with a 12 volt adapter lead, which initially I thought, what a fantastic idea. It's much better to run things off 12 volt than be running them through your inverter. It draws less power for number one. But hence the issue. Now the Starlink Mini, it will operate from a constant steady 12.5 to 13 volts right through to 30 volts, not a problem. And the reason they put out 30 volts in the AC pack here is because of the fact that by the time it runs through the 12-meter cable, you haven't got 30 volts at the end of the cable. So they punch out 30 just so that it will have an effective voltage to run the Starlink by the time it gets to the actual dish. Now, having said all that, the 12 volt cable, it comes with a typical 12 volt cigarette lighter plug, which this is where the issue starts. And it's got a nice heavy duty cable. It's only 3 meters long, so they've kept it nice and short. That's problem number one. By the time we open up the door, plug it into a cigarette lighter socket and bring 3 meters outside here, you've basically got the dish right at the bottom of the vehicle. So unless you're facing the absolute perfect way, it will shroud the coverage to the dish. Big problem. So we found a few issues there. But the other thing we found was, even when we did have good coverage to the dish, with the dish just outside the door, we found it dropping in and out quite a lot. And the problem was, yes, we plugged it into a 12 volt cigarette lighter plug, but it's the wiring that goes to that socket there that is the issue. Generally, most vans, caravans, motorhomes, the way they're wired, they're using very thin gauge cable. Hence, we weren't getting enough voltage through to that point. So this 12 volt cable was pretty much useless. We thought, what are we going to do? 1 second. We went on the internet and we found a unit here, which once again is quite short, but it comes with a socket that's designed to mount underneath your vehicle, as you'll see in a moment, and a cigarette lighter plug. But you still have the issue of the cigarette lighter socket not having the adequate wiring. And of course, we still had a problem. So I hardwired it. If you just come with me and look down here, you'll see that I've wired another socket to the car. It's the same unit as this, but instead of using the cigarette lighter plug, I've snipped that off. Now this particular module, it's designed to go from 12 volts up to 20 volts DC, a bit like a voltage doubler. I'll tell you what, any minute it's going to pour rain here, so goodness knows what's going to happen. Just for your interest, about 50k due west of me at the moment, it is snowing, and we are in mid-November in Tasmania. It's bizarre, so don't be surprised what might happen in this video shoot. But anyway, getting back to it. So it's 12 volts in, 20 volts out. So they do give you the 20 volts out so that when you plug it into your long cable here, that hopefully you've got enough voltage. But once again, you still have to have a nice steady voltage going into that. Now, even though I've hardwired that in, I've hardwired it into the existing system of the motorhome, and I've found that still not enough steady voltage. So once I'm back to the workshop, I'll be upping that gauge and putting a heavy duty gauge in to get a stable connection. So yeah, it's just a matter of then of grabbing, once it's installed into the van, matter of grabbing your cable and the little stopper there, that plugs into there. You can run the dish wherever you want to run it because you've got up to 12 meters of cable, and bingo, you can put the dish wherever you like. It's not shrouded by your vehicle or anything like that. And of course I can control turning it on and off inside there at night time, so you don't have to race outside in the cold, dark and whatever and turn your dish off. So make sure the wiring from your battery to wherever you connect this to is a really good thick gauge. Probably around about the 6mm automotive would be a good cable to think of, and you won't have an issue. 4mm, which is what we've got at the moment, I was thinking that was more than adequate, is definitely not adequate enough. I don't know why. technically speaking, it's a 15 amp cable, so it should do it, because the Starlink only draws around about 3, but for some reason it's not. So having said all that, I'm going to get back to the van, I think, before it snows here. It's unbelievable. So hang around, I've got another great little tip for you in a second. I've got one of our favourites for brekkie this morning, Anna.
What would that be?
Well, have you ever heard of grilled cheese on toast?
Yes, but I think you may have forgotten something.
What's that?
Leo doesn't have a griller.
Oh, yes. But as per usual, I've got one of my crazy ideas that, well, it may turn out a winner, but it may turn out a disaster. But we're going to see what will happen.
Doesn't involve double-sided Velcro, does it?
No Velcro this time. Anyway, yes, grilled cheese on toast. So we've toasted the toast. That's step 1. Obviously put the cheese on it. Step 2. And now we put it in Dougie's new griller.
Uh-huh.
But this is my secret. The old butane gas can with my burner on top. So let's just see.
That's brilliant.
Well, so far it's melting the cheese. I can't believe it. I got this idea while I was in bed last night dreaming away of crazy ideas.
Dreaming of cheese on toast.
I was, yes. Oh dear. I don't know whether this is going to work, guys, but it's looking good pretty... Oh, actually, it's starting to melt really good now.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Oh, I reckon I got another success.
Very clever.
Yeah, well. There we go, my dear.
Oh, yum. That looks awesome. Hang on, taste test coming up.
Oh, yep.
Oh, wow. Hang on. It's probably going to be really hot. That's brilliant. Good job.
You're not just trying to make me feel good, are you?
No, it was excellent.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. Dougie's famous grilled cheese sandwiches. Another handy hint for you.
Well done.
Insane idea. But all you need is a butane can and one of those burners, and it works like a treat. I can't believe it. So who needs a griller in your caravan? Forget it. Well, that just about brings us to the end of this episode, Shakedown number 2. It's been a bit of a battle with the weather conditions, but we've still had a lot of fun and we've managed to do a lot of things, including Bruny Island, which is coming up next. So stand by for that little episode. That's a nice little place to visit as well. We're pretty sure that we've got this van now exactly where we want it. Only a few little things to do when we get back to home base, but it's only very minor. We will be putting in another cupboard where you see that we put one for Anna's artwork. We'll be putting one on the opposite side. But apart from that, a couple of little tidbits, it's pretty much right to go next year for this big venture. We'll be revealing that fairly soon, so stand by for that. In the meantime, if you like what we're doing, please don't forget to click on that subscribe and notification bell. We'd love that, and we'll see you the next episode. Bye for now.